You see, there is this video that is trending now, Police Act 2020. Now, I want to commend the police force for bringing this thing to the public, for bringing this to our notice, to make sure everyone is aware of his right and to ensure that all police officers equally have the knowledge of it so they can respect the rights of the citizens of Nigeria. It's very interesting, you know. But before I play this video, let me quickly highlight one or two things in that police act. One of the act doesn't permit police to arrest anybody while investigation is still ongoing. The act doesn't allow police people to search anybody's phone. Again, husband cannot be arrested for the crime of his wife. I will leave the video at the end of my remarks. So like I said, I appreciate the police force. As a matter of fact, I applaud them for this innovation. They are standing tall as they refer to it. I wish this is going to stop the problems given us by the police. If you watch this video, as beautiful as the whole act sounds, well, I'm glad to announce to you that that act is not going to work. It's not going to work not until police welfare is number one on that list. How can you give instruction to a hungry man? As they say, a hungry man is an angry man. Because the last time I checked, I watched that video so carefully, I didn't see a place where police welfare was included on that list. You see, this is the reason Nigeria government always fail, because they always misplace priority. They will leave the root, the cause of the problems. They will be treating the symptoms. All these beautiful rules you have included in your police act, these are the things you don't need any effort to fix when police welfare is rightly placed. Everything will just fall in place because the police are happy. Nigeria government is not everything you embezzle. Sometimes just to find it in your heart to set aside some resources to address some sectors that need repairing, and one of such sector is police force. You can't just pile up art and expect it to be enforced when the people that are supposed to enforce it, they are hungry and they are angry. I believe every low-rank police officer you see have mental health issues, though they may put on a smiley face. Beyond that smile is a million frustration. He's a man who couldn't pay his children's school fees. He's a man who couldn't discharge his wife from the hospital bed, and who can't provide for his family 2 square meal a day. Look at your police. It is not a piling list of endless instruction. If you really want to help Nigeria, you have to help Nigeria police. You have to bring their life up to standard, increase their salary. Now, this is to the IG of police. I want to let you know that as attractive or as beautiful you think that police act is, without police welfare included, everything there is nonsense. With due respect, sir.
Be rendered null and void. So the promotion and the policing, protection of human rights is at the very core of policing. We have Nigerian case laws on it. The role of the Nigerian police in the promotion and protection of human rights. Although the police use discretion to support human rights, it is the abuse of this discretion and power that results in the violation of human rights of citizens. Of course, we all know one of the basic responsibilities of government can be called from Section 42, Section 14, subsection 2B of the 99 Constitution, which amongst others say the security and welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government. Of course, the objectives of the Nigerian police can be captured in the Police Act, Establishment Act of 2020, which, of course, as you can see, okay, it's not there. One, to provide for the police force that is more responsive to the needs of the general public and as entrenched in its operations the values of fairness, justice, and equity. Of course, to also reposition, to bring about, to empower, to develop. Now, the Police Act of 2020 has some beautiful innovations. These innovations were captured so that we could ensure in our policing mandate and tasks, we are able to protect the human rights and also take care of the security concerns of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So, for once, we have a Nigerian police force that was able to capture gloriously the human rights promotion and protection, and which can be seen in Section 1 and Section 4, sub-A of the 2020 Act. Of course, here you have gender rights, and what you see in the gender rights is that there's a provision for mainstreaming of gender issues into police recruitment training, whereby you can now see in our police special protection units, you have our women there. In the mobile police, you even have an all-women squadron. And of course, in the counter-terrorism unit, you have the women there. Then, the innovation of the Police Act 2020 also brought about police duty solicitor scheme. Of course, this is Section 9, subsection 4, and 5, subsection 2. Of course, running in this trajectory, you also have community policing, which was gravely introduced into the Act of 2020. And of course, the rights of victims was equally captured, whereby it's not just prosecuting offenders, but to also make sure that the victims have a way of being compensated. This can be seen in Section 2H of the 2020 Act. Then, it's also captured that no more will you arrest on civil wrongs. Police Act has now specifically prohibited the police from arresting any person merely on a civil wrong or a breach of contract. This Nigerian police force is standing tall. That is what you are saying. And this can be seen in Section 32, subsection 2 of the Police Force Establishment Act 2020. This gives a nexus. This brings about a lovely situation where you can say it's a Siamese twins to the provisions of Section 82 of the AJA. And of course, we have information of our rights when making an arrest. Every person who is arrested for whatever wrong is entitled to his rights as guaranteed in the Constitution of the Republic of Nigeria. Now, we also have in the Police Act, you see, this Police Act is our compass. This is our GPS, which we use to ensure that the rights of citizens are protected in the discharge of our policing mandate. Now, you also have in our Act, Section 35, subsection 3, whereby it is the right of every suspect to have his peace and claim notified by the police at the cost of the police. Then I can understand that the ovation is coming from the beauty packaged in the Police Act of 2020. Thank you. And also in the Police Act, because what I am reeling out, these are the parameters that the average police officer uses to carry out his mandated task. So those of you who are out there, these are the things you can watch for, to be sure that what we are doing is in line with our Police Act. Now, no more arrest in lieu. Yeah. Respectfully, Section 36 of the Police Establishment Act 2020, which also gives effect to Section 7 of AJA of 2015, that you can no longer arrest a husband for the offense committed by his wife. And of course, Section 37 of the Police Act. Section 37 of the Police Act also frowns against torture and inhuman treatment. It's prohibited. Now, of course, I've been told to summarize. So key areas that the Nigerian police force looks at: upholding the rule of law, reforming and reorganizing, leveraging on technology in the discharge of our mandated constitutional tasks. Of course, we also have, so looking ahead, or in conclusion, citizens' rights and security concerns in Nigeria are intricately linked with the protection of human rights.